Hello everyone. In this session, we'll be doing question number 7 of NCERT, page number 90. So according to the question, first transaction is started business with cash amounting to rupees 1,20,000. Now in this transaction, firm is receiving a cash of rupees 1,20,000. That means there is an inflow of cash in the business. So we will open a cash column on asset side, as cash is considered as an asset, with the amount rupees 1,20,000. At the same time, this cash is a claim against the company as a liability. So we will open a capital column for rupees 1,20,000 because this cash is a liability for the business, as the business have to pay this amount to the businessman in future. So we will write this amount on capital side. Rupees 1,20,000. Now, next transaction is rent received rupees 10,000. Now, rent received is an income for the company. So we will add rupees 10,000 on cash column because rent is received in the form of cash. So we will add rupees 10,000 in cash column. At the same time, this income increases the profit of the business. So profit is always added in the capital. So we will add rupees 10,000 in capital column. Now solving these two equations, we will get 1,30,000 on cash column and 1,30,000 on capital column. Next transaction is invested in shares amounting to rupees 50,000. Now in this transaction, company is making an investment of rupees 50,000 in shares. Investment is considered as an asset because assets are the things, the benefits of which we can get in future. So here investment is considered as an asset. So we will open a new column on asset side with the name investment amounting to rupees 50,000. So while making investment, there is outflow of cash of rupees 50,000 because company is investing in shares in the form of cash. So we will deduct rupees 50,000 from cash column. Now by solving these two equations, we will get 1,80,000 in cash, 80,000 on cash column, investment amounting to 50,000, no amount of liabilities, and capital amounting to 1,30,000. Now, moving on to the next transaction, which is received dividend rupees 5,000. In this transaction, company is receiving a dividend. Dividend is income for the company, which the company is getting by investment in shares. Company is investing in shares, and in return, company received the dividend in the form of income. So here dividend is received rupees 5,000. This dividend is received in the form of cash. So we will add 5,000 in cash column. At the same time, income is a profit for the company, and this profit increases the capital also. So we will add 5,000 on capital side also. So here we will get cash amounting to 85,000. Investment amounting to 50,000, no amount of liabilities, and capital amounting to 1,35,000. Next transaction is purchase goods on credit from Ragini amounting to rupees 35,000. Now here goods have been purchased on credit, and we know whenever the goods are purchased on credit, we will open a creditors column on liabilities side, because creditors are the person from whom goods have been sold on credit and the payment has not been made. It will be made in future. So we will open creditors column on liabilities side. So company has purchased goods. Goods, which is also known as stock. Stock is considered as an asset. So here goods is increased with the amount 35,000. So we will open a new column on asset side with the name stock. So stock has been increased with the amount 35,000. We will write this amount on stock column. Now, these goods have been purchased on credit. That means the liabilities of the companies are increasing with the amount 35,000, and we will write this amount on creditors column because these goods are purchased on credit. So liabilities are increased with the amount 35,000. Now here, solving these two equations, we will get 85,000 on cash column, 50,000 on investment column, 35,000 on stock column, 35,000 on creditors column, and capital amounting to rupees 1,35,000. So here I have carried forward the last equation where cash amounting to 85,000, investment 50,000, stock 35,000, creditors 35,000 and capital rupees 1,35,000. So the next transaction is paid cash for household expenses rupees 7,000. Now in this transaction, the businessman has paid cash for household expenses by withdrawing this amount from the business fund, and we know when the businessman withdraws the amount from the business fund, it is considered as drawings. So drawings is always deducted from cash because this amount has been withdrawn from the business fund. So we will deduct 7,000 from cash column. At the same time, it will be deducted from capital also because that business fund is also known as capital. So by deducting 7,000 from cash column, we will get cash amounting to rupees 78,000, investment 50,000, stock amounting to 35,000, creditors 35,000 and capital amounting to rupees 1,28,000. Moving on to the next transaction, which is sold goods for cash costing rupees 10,000, rupees 14,000. Now in this transaction, goods costing 10,000 has been sold for 14,000. So here goods of rupees 10,000 has been sold. So we will deduct rupees 10,000 from stock column because the stock is decreased by the amount 10,000. It has been sold and it has been sold for rupees 14,000. That means the company is receiving 14,000 in cash. So we will add this amount in cash column. Now goods were costing 10,000, sold for 14,000. That means goods have been sold for profit of rupees 4,000. Profit increases the capital of the business. So we will add this amount on capital side. So 4,000 will be added on capital side as profit. Now by solving these two equations, we will get 92,000 on cash column, investment amounting to 50,000, stock amounting to 25,000, creditors 35,000 and capital amounting to 1,32,000. Now next transaction is cash paid to Ragini rupees 35,000. As we know, Ragini was the creditor for the firm and here cash has been paid to the creditors. That means the amount of rupees 35,000 has been paid to the creditors. So we will write off this amount from creditors side. So cash has been paid, we will deduct this amount from cash column and from creditors column also because the company has paid the amount to creditors. So we will deduct 35,000 from creditors column. Now by solving these two equations, we will get 57,000 on cash column, 50,000 investment, stock amounting to 25,000, creditors has been written off and capital amounting to 1,32,000. Now the last transaction is deposited into bank rupees 20,000. So bank here is an asset, as asset are the things which can be converted into cash. So whatever amount which is deposited into bank, it can be withdrawn at any time. That means bank can be converted into cash anytime. So here we will open a new column of bank on asset side. So company has deposited the amount of rupees 20,000 in bank. That means asset has been increased with rupees 20,000. Bank will be increased of rupees 20,000 because cash has been deposited into bank. Now when cash is deposited into bank, there is an outflow of cash. So we will deduct 20,000 from cash column also. As we can see, both cash and bank are asset. One asset is increasing and at the same time another asset is decreasing. So equation here is balanced. So by solving these two equations, we will get 37,000 in cash column, 50,000 investment, stock amounting to rupees 25,000, bank 20,000, creditors 0, and capital amounting to rupees 1,32,000. So by adding asset side, we will get the amount of rupees 1,32,000, which is equal to the liability side. So we can say that the equation here has been balanced. So this is how the question is to be solved. In the next session, we'll continue with some more questions. That's all for today. Thank you.